Welcome back, guys. Have you seen the dozens of products out there on store shelves and online that make it look super easy to repair scratches in your paint like it was never even there? Well, today's video is going to cover 13 different ways, from super cheap Chinese products to a professional fix using touch-up paint. And we're going to test 3 different depths of scratches to see which ones repair those scratches the best, and taking it one step further, hand applied versus using a random orbital machine polisher to use these products. Does it make a difference? Will it save you time? Without further ado, let's do further and jump down this rabbit hole. And before starting, I know you guys always like to see what we have in the shop. Here's one that left recently. This is a 2023 Lamborghini Huracan STO, and it was one of the 30 or so cars that originally sank in the ocean a year or two ago. You know, that ship that caught fire. And Lamborghini restarted production just to remake these cars, and this is one of those. So it is a very special car indeed. So as I said, let's get started. First, we need some scratches, 3 different depths. For the light scratches, perhaps from fingernails, a ring, or someone even using a Scotch-Brite pad to get bugs off their hood. I've seen it many times. It's the Scotch-Brite pad. This is what I would consider light scratches in the clear, but not down to the color coat or the primer. And second is this little rig to ensure even pressure, a moderate scratch through the clear and into the color coat, but not down to the primer. It's a 3-pound, or a little over a kilogram, brass hammer with a piece of copper wiring wrapped around it to expose the tip, in which will tilt up and drag across the paint. Took quite a bit of trial and error to get it to happen like we wanted to here. And third, we're going to key this paint with a brass key. And I don't think it matters whether it's steel or brass in this case, but I'm just letting you know what I'm using here. And this does severe damage to the paint, and generally in most cases it requires a repaint or even body work if it actually damaged the metal. So I don't have high expectations for this part, but maybe we'll be surprised. So here's what we end up with: marred, damaged clear coat, mild to medium scratches, and deep scratches. So let's jump into the products and see how they perform. First up, we have Liho, 80 grams, $8, made in China. Apply, add pressure until the scratch is gone. It really looks and smells like toothpaste. It's really intended for light scratches, so I don't expect it to get out the heavy stuff. Use the included sponge for application, and it really isn't super aggressive, didn't get it out, and I'll give grades to everything here at the end, so stay tuned for that. The moderate scratches, maybe a slight improvement, and of course the heavy scratches, no improvement there. We're going to try to machine polish it. I'm going to use a Rupes Hybrid Nano with an old UHS pad, which is kind of a medium abrasive pad. Really didn't do much other than mar the paint, because this is General Motors 8555, which is a super soft clear coat. So no matter what you do for something like this, when you machine and apply it, you're going to have to finish it out with a fine pad for any of these products. Turtle Wax Scratch Repair and Renew, $12.99 for 7 ounces, 200 ml, made in USA. You can apply it by machine or by hand. So this is one of the products that actually specifically states machine or hand application. Very easy to apply this product, very easy to remove it or level it. And you can see here, there is some improvement. Sort of skipped over filming the part with the light there, but there was some improvement. Very easy to apply. Machine polish cleaned it up even further, to the point where I would give that an A. You know, if we're going to do A, B, C, D, F for grading, that's definitely an A. The moderate scratches that are down to through the color coat, a slight improvement, maybe a D. and no improvement to the very deep stuff. Turtle Wax Hybrid Solution. So this is a two-part. You actually have to use the compound and then apply a clear coat. You wait 24 hours and you can compound or sand it further if needed. I did not do that in this instance. I just used what was in the kit. It says you can use touch-up paint with this kit. If you had factory touch-up paint, I do, but again, I'm only sticking with what's in the kit. $25 for this kit. Have to use some pretty significant pressure. The applicator that I'm using is made by Autofiber. It's a microfiber, and it doesn't add any abrasiveness to the product. Because it is a clear coat that's being installed, I'm not going to, as I said before, I'm not going to further sand this down. I'm just doing it as it comes, and that's pretty impressive. Some of the deeper stuff is gone, or some of the deeper stuff is still there, but the rest of it not very visible. You know, that's pretty good improvement for just hand application. And the moderate scratches, a slight improvement. Deeper stuff, no improvement. Another Turtle Wax product, premium repair kit, made in USA, $18.94. You can use this by hand or machine for the scratches, but you have to use the paint pen to apply it. You wait 24 hours and then you come back and wet sand it. And it comes with the sandpaper. They call it grits 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's probably 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, and 5,000 grit sandpaper. And then you finish it with the compound. And it is visibly filling in the scratches. I don't think this is going to work very well for the very, very light scratches. This has a feel like it's more of the moderate, but not very deep. If you were going to fill in the deep scratches, again, you would need touch-up paint. You can see there, that's just the pen application, no sanding. So the light and moderate scratches, there is an improvement, just only using that. So now we're going to go ahead and wet sand everything. So wet sanding, you use the lubricant that comes with it to keep the surface wet, but you don't want too much because you don't want it actually floating across the surface. In this instance, it says do it for about a minute. So that's what we did. You can see the very, very minor scratches. It leaves some of that clear coat behind. So it would definitely require further sanding, probably with the heavier grit to smooth that out and then polishing it out. The moderate scratches, yeah, there's an improvement there. And I think if you spend a little bit more time with it, you could get it there. And the deep stuff, again, not so much. That is where you actually need paint to improve that. Maybe just a slight part that it improved. So now we're going to go ahead and try it. Again, same type of pad, Rupes UHS pad, which I don't believe they make anymore. We've just got a bunch of them laying around, so I'm using them up here. So that is an abrasive pad, so no matter what, you're going to have to go behind it and finish it. Which that's not what we're really after right here. We're after removing the scratch. We can finish it out. Seeing that tells me that it needed to be heavier. That on the more aggressive grit sandpaper, you probably needed to spend a little bit longer. The medium one, yeah, we have a great improvement there. Not perfect, but again, you probably spend a little more time and it would get there. And on the deep scratches, very minor improvement, but overall, not really. Next up, we have Quicks paint repair pen, made in Germany, $10.97. Hand applied only, so there's no machine polishing here. It prevents worsening of the defects in the clear coat. It's not for deep scratches. You can put it in deep scratches, it just prevents it from getting worse. So where does this shine? Don't know. It fills the scratches. You can use it with factory touch-up paint, which that's probably what needs to happen here, but again, we're only testing the product. We're not testing touch-up paint and the product. Not recommended for surface scratches. I picked this one up at Walmart. So surface scratches would probably be our Scotch-Brite pad up at the top, so I would not expect great results here. The medium one right in the middle, that's probably where this one's gonna shine. Getting the light on it, you can see if you were going to, that would probably need to be wet sanded out. The medium scratches, just leaving it as is, yeah, it does improve it. Again, you could probably wet sand that further out. The deep scratches, it's very minor. So next up is Carfedant, Ultimate Scratch and Swirl Remover, 1997 for 250 mil. I actually bought the $2 sample off of Amazon for 30 mil. Made in USA, hand or machine applied, and it's basically a compound. So it gets light to moderate swirls and defects out. So we're gonna hand apply it first, then we're gonna machine apply it. Very, very easy product to apply, both hand and machine polish. Hand polish, very minor improvement, but it is some improvement. As to the moderate scratches and the deep scratches, not really that much. Machine application with the Rupa's UHS pad again. Yeah, we're getting some improvement there, both on the light to moderate scratches. Yeah, look at that. So you ignore the marring in the paint. Again, that's soft clear coat for you, so it'll have to be finished out. But yeah, it got the defects out. Perfect. That is an A or A+. And on the moderate scratches, yeah, there's some improvement there. Not perfect, but yeah. And then the deep scratches, nothing there. So yeah, well done, Carfedant. That's a good product there. Formula One Scratch Out, $7.23 off of Amazon, made in USA. It says hand apply, but of course we will also machine apply it. It removes fine scratches, which tells me that it's more of a polish, not a compound. Fine scratches and swirl marks. I don't know if a Scotch-Brite pad would be considered fine, but we will find out. Easy to apply, it smells good, no issues there. Yeah, it improved it slightly, I suppose. Again, the deep stuff is still there, but the overall appearance of it, it's much less unsightly. But again, it says it's for fine stuff. These aren't exactly fine. So it did not do well in this test, but let's go ahead and try to polish it out using that along with our UHS pad and see if there's any improvement there. Again, if this is a polish, it's not going to get those out. Put the light on it, it didn't get them out. So definitely as described for fine scratches and swirls. Yeah, nothing really doing there on the middle, and the deep stuff, of course not. Mother's Scratch Remover, $10.99 for 8 ounces or 227 mil, made in USA. It can be hand or machine applied, and it says it removes light surface scratches. Hand applying it, use a circular motion. Machine applying it, we'll use our Rupa's UHS pad. These are used pads that I'm using, but they are clean. And yeah, light scratches, didn't get much of it out, just a very slight improvement. Maybe even slightly better than the F1, than the Formula One scratch out there. But the deeper ones, not a chance. Onto the machine application. just a slight improvement. Again, this is more of a polish than a compound when it gets light scratches out like that. Yeah, not doing anything on the moderate or the severe ones either. Next up, McGuires Scratch X, $10.27. They do have a kit that this comes in. It's made in USA with global components. Must-have product for isolated paint problems. Made in USA. Apply by hand or foam polishing pad is the way it is stated. And see, there's their kit. I bought one from Amazon. It came missing the actual polisher, so that's why I didn't include that as part of the test, but I did use the same compound that comes in there. Again, very easy to apply. Slight improvement, but not really. So, like a D or a D minus, something like that. It's definitely not intended for heavy scratches. Onto the machine polishing. Yeah, we have a little bit more improvement there. Not perfect. It is improved. As is the case with the moderate, just slightly less noticeable, but it's more like a D for a grade, something like that. And of course, no chance on the deep scratches. Dr. Color Chip. So full disclosure, I have never used this before. I see a lot of detailers use it. A lot of them swear by it. There is a learning curve to this, and I really struggled, but it comes with the actual paint that you have to buy. This is WA8555 paint that it comes with. You apply it next to the scratch or the chip, and then you use a squeegee to squeegee over it, let it dry for about 5 minutes, and then it comes with what I would assume is like an acetone type of solution that you put on this cloth, and you use a flat hand. So I prep it with IPA there. You use a flat hand to remove the residual paint, and so the paint stays in the valley of the scratch or in the chip. And I've tried that a couple different times here, and I really struggled to get it to not lift the paint out of the scratch or out of the chip. And I will show you here in a second. I actually tried it on the chips on this hood on the front surfaces. So it's not intended for light scratches, so it's going to do not great on that. So we're after the moderate and deep stuff here. Slight improvement, yes. Less noticeable, I don't know. So I'm going to try it again later because it just, I've seen people have better results than this. Maybe that's a different paint, something I don't know. So here's 3 chips in the hood. Let it dry for 4 or 5 minutes. It says 3 to 5. And then I just very lightly take it with that solution, rub across it, and it's pulling it right up. I can't get it to stay in the chip. So it did not work well for me. Again, I've seen instances where this product works, but for what we're testing here, it didn't work. Almost $70 for this product too. Other than the professional touch-up, this is probably the most expensive product in this test. So here we're going to give it one more attempt. Yeah, just maybe a slight improvement, but it did not. You can see like the white became more of like a dark gray, maybe, but it didn't fill it in like it says it does. Or like it should. You can see the leftover residual paint there at the top there that I didn't get off. And next up is McGuires M105, Intended to be machine applied, removes 1200 grit and higher imperfections. Very aggressive compound, been around for decades, and it's intended to be applied with a wool pad, but in the instance of, for the purposes of consistency in this test, I'm using the Rupes UHS pad, which is a medium abrasive pad. It's not as aggressive as like a microfiber or a wool pad. Works great with a wool pad though, so we've used this stuff for years. You could probably hand apply it, but you're going to struggle with it because it's tricky to work with. Yep, got that out, no problem. Got those defects out. And the moderate scratches, there's some improvement, but not everything. And the deep scratches, even, yeah, it kind of rounded off the edges a little bit, but it's still pretty noticeable. And we have the Scott HD method, which is just a professional touch-up. So you buy the paint, we charge $125 an hour shop rate, and you're gonna wet sand. Apply it, let it dry, use a heat gun to dry it quicker. Use KXK Rid Sticks, 2000 grit and 3000 grit sandpaper, wet sanding. So there it is applied. And we're only going to touch up on the moderate and deep scratches. So what you do is you're actually building it up in the imperfection, and then you're leveling it as you wet sand it. And you continue to do that until it's completely even. And I'm showing you just in this video the example of how to do it. I'm not trying to get it absolutely perfect, but you can get it there. The more time you spend on this, you can get it perfect. So we do this all the time. I didn't get it quite up on the edge there, only using the wool pad and Shine Supply Chop Top, which is a diminishing abrasive, but it did get 100% of it out there otherwise. So wet sanding with distilled water, 2000 grit, 3000 grit. You don't want too much water because then it floats on top of it more or less. Definitely something that is learned over time. You polish it out with a wool pad, then you finish it out with a fine polish and a pad. Sonax Perfect Finish is what I used here. And again, after you polish it for the first time with the wool pad, it gives you a much better idea if you need to go back and build up the defect with more touch-up paint. In this instance, I should have, because you can still see the scratch a little bit, but you can get that out completely. It is doable. It just takes some time. If we have a customer comes to us, usually we charge an hour shop rate to get some deep defects out. The light stuff, most of them we don't even charge. Just say, hey, we'll get it out for you real quick. But the deep stuff, yeah, it needs to be built up a little bit more. Definitely noticeable, deep scratch. Really, that's best suited for repainting, but it can be at least made less noticeable. So that's how the process goes for a professional touch-up. You can get it perfect. It just takes a little bit of time, and that's why it's a professional touch-up. Yeah, I didn't get it all on the edge there, but that would come out. And we always have the weird one. We have Crest 3D White toothpaste from my bathroom drawer. $3.97. Arctic Fresh flavor, made in USA. Hand or machine applied? We'll find out. People use this stuff on headlights. Maybe it'll work on a scratch. Let's find out. Sometimes this kind of stuff can surprise you. So you can't wipe it off very easily. I had to use isopropyl alcohol to get it off, or water. Didn't do much for improvement hand application on any of them. Maybe we need Colgate, who knows? So onto the machine application. Yeah, there's no improvement. It's very, very similar to Liho, the very first one that we showed in the video here, which makes me think that Liho is probably toothpaste or something very similar to it. Yeah, no improvement there. on any of them. Don't waste your time with the toothpaste. So overall, if you're only able to hand apply one of these products to get a scratch out, the best cheap option for light scratches is going to be McGuires Scratch X or Mother's Scratch Remover, along with the Quicks pen, but that would need some more wet sanding, so that may not be your best option. Pretty much McGuires Scratch X or Mother's Scratch Remover. Something a little bit more expensive would be the Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions product. And if you have deeper scratches, Turtle Wax Premium Kit works well, but you would really best benefit with a machine polisher for that one. So that leaves either Dr. Color Chip, which is expensive, and of course you saw me struggle with it, or Carfedant, which seems to work quite well. And machine polishing for light scratches, you're probably better off just skipping all of these products and going straight to the compound, being McGuires M105 for polishing. That's what I would do if it was my money being spent, and just spend the time there. For medium or deeper scratches, the only product in here that was halfway decent was the Turtle Wax Premium Kit. And of course, that's because it includes the sandpaper to wet sand everything out. And you also have the option of using touch-up paint with it. You'll spend a good amount of time with it to get things perfect, but it definitely has the best potential and the potential for completely getting the scratch out. Otherwise, your option is McGuires M105, a professional, or getting things repainted, which hopefully is a last resort. So if you do have a machine polisher and you want to buy a scratch remover product, Carfedant or Turtle Wax Scratch and Renew, those would be my choice. But really, overall, all three Turtle Wax products did quite well. So thanks again, guys. I hope this has been educational, if nothing else. Make sure you like the video, comment down below, and of course, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. And as always, if you do want to purchase any of these, please consider doing so through the links in the video description, as that's how this channel makes money. Everything is unsponsored, and I want to keep it that way. As hard as these companies tried to get me to do sponsored videos, I refuse to do it because it affects bias. No bias here. No favoritism, just real results. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.